all wisdom, is a quote by Aristotle, which emphasizes self awareness as a fundamental pillar in both personal and professional growth. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. And I thank IoT Academy for giving me this opportunity to share in this particular platform the thoughts on personality development for teachers who are there in higher education institutions. So, in the context of teachers in higher education, self awareness enables educators to reflect on their strengths, weaknesses, biases, and motivations. A teacher who knows themselves are better equipped to connect with the students, manage the classroom dynamics, and adapt teaching strategies to diverse learning needs. So, in India, for example, educators at prestigious institutions often engage in reflective practices as a part of their professional development. Understanding one's own values, teaching philosophy, and emotional triggers can help the teachers create an empathetic and inclusive learning environment, which is essential in diverse educational context. So, moving on, I would like to bring out some 12 takeaways for this particular program. So, what is personality? Personality is basically the sum total of physical and mental and emotional attitudes and values, which are interest and the motivational factors. So, in the first section, we will see about the key traits and practices for effective teaching and professional growth. In the second section, we will see on introduction to generative AI and its application in education. And in the third section, we will see on how generative AI tools can support personality development, such as generating personalized feedback and creating interactive scenarios. So there are 12 takeaways from this particular program. So the role of teachers, I have given it in different perspectives, I should say. So the first one is to encourage the role models. So let's see one by one how it goes. Encourage the role models. Students must choose a role model to follow. Yes. So here, something called as self-reflection journaling must be adapted. So the basic objective is here to increase the self-awareness and personal growth. There is a small exercise for you all today, and probably if you can work it out, we can work it out now during this particular session. I just want everybody to close your eyes and reflect on what went well, what are the challenges that you faced, and how you handled them. Any challenge it could be, anything related to the your career, your family, it could be, or it could be based on your health. Any challenge that you have faced, and how did you handle them? Note any insights about your behavior, your reactions, and your interactions with others. So, this practice will help the teachers basically to identify your strength and areas of improvement, fostering continuous personal development. So, can I ask the participants to unmute and then say a few words on this?
Yes,
Participant,
ma'am.
yeah. Okay. Anything to be posted on the message in the chat box, please?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is there any issue with the PPT, ma'am? Can I present from my end, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am.
Because I think there is some, popping up often.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, ma'am.
So chat box, can you please post the reflections? Anybody? So basically, there are people who say that I was given a very hectic workload in the last week, so I could not complete my target. It could be based on research, it could be based on academics, it could be based on, say, any other non teaching workload that is given to the faculty members. So, based on that, what happens is let's look into some of the scenarios because knowing oneself aids in aligning personal growth with institutional objectives, ensuring that teaching methods are continuously refined to benefit student outcomes. Yes. So in India, if you, the importance of self-awareness in education, it is highlighted by organizations like the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, that is NPTL. So which offers personality development modules for teachers. By fostering emotional intelligence and introspection, educators can handle challenges such as academic pressures, diverse student expectations, and curriculum changes with resilience and adaptability. In this way, self knowledge contributes not only to teachers' personal growth but also enhances the overall learning experience, thereby fostering a positive academic culture. I think we all agree to this. So teachers play a critical role in shaping the personality of the students. Yes, particularly in higher education, where intellectual and emotional maturity are key developmental stages. Yes. So teachers serve as role models, influencing students not only academically but also socially and emotionally. By fostering critical thinking, curiosity, self discipline, educators guide students in developing their own values, beliefs, and attitudes towards life. So, this is a greater responsibility, I should say. And in India, we respect teachers deeply, which is ingrained in our culture. See, we still have that, Guru Sishya tradition, which is highlighting the teacher's role in holistic personality development. So, this mentorship goes beyond academics, encouraging the students to cultivate character traits like resilience, empathy, and ethical decision making, which are essential both in personal and professional spheres. Moreover, teachers influence the personality development through the learning environment they create. That is also equally important. So, ma'am, next slide, please. An inclusive, supportive classroom promotes confidence and it develops their interpersonal skills. Teachers who provide constructive feedback to help the students understand their strengths and areas for improvement, enabling the personal growth. So let's have a small exercise now. By looking at the first picture, what is the thought which comes to you? I have shown the second takeaway for this particular program is character building. So there is a famous saying that character must be measured by what one would do if no one were looking. So there are individual pillars of character building, including respect, care, responsibility, fairness, trustworthiness, courage, diligence, and integrity. So by looking at the first picture, can you see there is a picture which is given to the, for me, it is to the left hand side. So what does it respond? Dr. Shamshad Begum, ma'am, can you respond? You can just unmute and talk to me.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for calling me with my name. Thank you. Uh, so I too teach psychology. This there is one about ink. Ink blot test of. I just don't remember. Uh, Reuters or some name is there. Ink blot test.
Ma'am, it is Rorschach.
Rorschach's ink blot test. Then they would
Yes,
use
ma'am.
the ink pen, Misak pen, these were very common in our childhood. So maybe this researcher did it then. So they take a paper, just spill ink on it and fold the paper half and get its mirror image. So whatever is the thinking of the observer or whoever, the subject, whomever we are studying, that will give. So here it looks like two horses or two animals, you can say, or if you are a zoology teacher, it can be there is seahorse, one animal. So two seahorses facing opposite, like that it can be, or it can be something like that. The first figure, the second figure, for me, it may look like a human being with two hands or behind somebody else, like that. Some idea, whatever the person gets suddenly as soon as they see the picture, that epitomizes or that shows the personality or thinking or state of mind of that person who is answering. This is what I have learnt.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am.
I teach my students also. Sometimes we take, of course, we get very rarely ink pens, so we make use of that sketch pen, is colored sketch pens. We remove that inside, that filling one, and we just spill it on the paper and fold it into halves, and just allow it to dry, and then pass on, put it in some place, allow students to come, see, observe, and write 5 points of whatever they feel about that figure. So we collect that data, and they will interpret, see what is the average thinking of this class students. Like that I do. I don't know, you're all very well educated people, so you must be knowing more better. So I'm very lucky to hear from you, psychological subject.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a very
Thank you.
elaborative, explanation on
Mm.
Rorschach ink blot test.
Yeah, Rorschach ink blot
Yeah.
test.
So, moving
His
on.
name is there. Actually, I was doing prayer, so I didn't even read that name of that person. It's given there. Rosh name. Okay, so nice of you. You have picturized it so well. I have made it clear now. Larger, I have enlarged it, and it's able. I'm able to see it now. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the explanation. Uh, Actually, any other participant who wants to say anything on the picture? Ma'am told she visualizes a seahorse. Anybody else on the picture? What does it look like? What is a reflection? Anybody? You can tell anything. Let me see the chat box. Yes. Yes, it is an ink blot test only, correct? But what does the picture reflect or, comes to your mind when you're looking at the picture? I think I should call one by one. Nidhi Sharma, madam, can you just tell what does it look like? Or Sarika Patel, ma'am, are you
Yes,
there?
ma'am.
Can you tell
Ma'am,
me? Yes.
I too can visualize two seahorses facing opposite to each other. And
Okay.
second one, I got it like scorpion.
Okay.
Maybe being a zoology teacher.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fine.
Thank
Fine.
you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you. So, basic thing is like if you are able to tell it in a statement format, which means that you are, the thing is, you see, nothing is wrong and nothing is right here. The basic idea is to identify what are your thought processes, what is the perception that you have, and what could be your final conclusion about the particular, say, scenario. It could be, or it could be on a person, or it could be on an object. So here, seahorse denotes certain positive as well as certain, negative aspects or traits. So, fine, yeah. So this is, one particular test where we can understand our own self. And madam, I would like to present from my end only one thing. I wanted to share this window, which is called as a Johari window.
Yes, ma'am. Can I stop sharing, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm sharing now. So I want to show them this, show the participants.
You can start sharing, ma'am. I have stopped presenting.
Yeah, thank you. So I wanted to show this entire screen and share. There is something called as a Johari window. How many of us know about this? This is supposed to be called as, yeah, it is coming. Where we have something called as a blind spot. We have, can you see all our personality traits, which is supposed to be called as I am able. So they are just asking you to take it up. This is an online test. I will post the link in the group. So whenever you are free, you can take it down. If you just open it right now, it will be stored in your history. And then later you can, there is a technical glitch. So I will share the PPT as well as, the links to IoT Academy. So they can show you the um, this particular table. So here there are various personality traits which is given. For example, able, accepting, I am acceptable, I'm adaptable, I'm bold, I'm brave. So I'm very silly, I'm very spontaneous. So you have to choose what are the characteristics that belongs to you, and then you can write your name and save it, and then later move on to the online test. So this particular Johari window, if you see, here I'm just showing you, again I'm opening it. Can you see here, this Johari window, it's basically a questionnaire. Okay, it is an instrument, we call it in the psychological terms. So you just have to pick up either A or B. So here, if a friend of mine had a personality conflict means, see, in day-to-day life, we are playing many roles. I play the role of a teacher here in the college. I also play the role of the head of the department for my Department of Management Studies. And I also play as the role of a trainer. I play the role of a daughter to my father, to my parents. I play the role of the wife to my husband. I play the role of the mother to my children. So a lot of roles every day, day to day, I try to play. So there is something called as a role conflict. When I'm not able to satisfy or fulfill one particular role, duties and responsibilities, in that particular case, there is a conflict which arises. My father calls, my daughter calls, to whose call I need to attend. So which is more important? So, I need to understand. So in the similar way, in the class, I play the role of a teacher. For example, if I'm conducting a group discussion, then I take the lead role for being the trainer. So which is the role that I am trying to play? So there is a personality conflict with a mutual acquaintance of ours with whom it was important for me in what sense. So in that case, what happens? I tell my friend that I felt that she was partially responsible for any problems with this or the other person, and try to let him know how the person was being affected. So either I will choose the A or not get involved, because I wouldn't be able to continue to get along with both of them once I had entered in any way. So either you will enter there and try to resolve the conflict, or you will just simply keep quiet. So like this, we have something called as a 20 questions which are there. So after answering all the 20 questions, you just come to the end where here, can you see the feedback? So here you just have to write all your answers. 1A is what? If you have chosen 1A, then you have to give 10 points. So like this, you will give your points, and then you will come back to the last and add up all your points and check whether it is pointing out to the top axis or to the left axis. There is a chart which can be easily drawn for this Johari window. You can just Google it, Johari window, nothing wrong in that, and take up an online test which will help you in all ways to meet your needs. Okay, where we would like to tell that this particular instrument is very helpful in understanding something called as a SWOT analysis. So a teacher should be knowing or be aware of the SWOT analysis about oneself. What are my strengths? What is my weaknesses, and how I can take a call in any conflict which is arising. So that is one. So I can give you a live example. Say, for example, Sarah is a middle level manager in a tech company. We have a lot of IT companies here. Okay. She wants to improve her team dynamics and communication. And she's organized a workshop where team members participated in the Johari window exercise. So each member provided anonymous feedback to their colleagues, revealing the aspects of blind area. So what you can do is you can ask your members to find out what is the weaknesses about you. In what way? This is a very simple exercise which will reveal what is your weakness, because the weakness is the one which either you can focus on the weakness, the other way is you can forget about the weakness and strengthen the strengths. So there are two ways of looking at it. Okay, so that is one thing which I would like to say, which builds our character. Okay, so we have seen on encouraging the role models and character building. Moving on to the third, takeaway from this program is this particular Johari window. Can you see here? It's improving self-awareness. It is enhancing the communication. It will build stronger relationship. It will facilitate your personal development and strengthening the team dynamics by promoting the transparency and the collaboration. So there are role-playing scenarios which you can take it forward. So this, a teacher who understands the the SWOT analysis are supposed to be the greatest teachers of all time. So here I have given the strength and weaknesses, opportunities, and we cannot call it as a threat, we can call it as a challenge. Okay, so say for example, if the teacher is having a lack of understanding the context, he or she needs to go to the library immediately or check for any of the source of information and get it back to the class. Say for example, threatening academic integrity, where you're not able to publish quality research papers, where we try to copy others' ideas, but still try to put something on our own. Because we all of us are pressurized to do the patent. We all of us are pressurized to come up with the Scopus research articles. Ma'am was mentioning that I have published 2 Scopus. Ma'am, it is right now 10 articles, ma'am. 10 Scopus articles I have accomplished, and almost 65, ISSN peer reviewed and all that. But writing a Scopus article is not that easy, especially in the management field. Ma'am was talking about zoology, Shamshad ma'am, or the other madam. So what happens there is they can just make one experiment and come out with the result. And for them, it is easy to get it published. But for us in the management concept, it is very difficult to get it published. The third point would be setting the principles and the discipline. So I just want you all to answer, which of the following is an effective strategy for setting the classroom behavior rules? The first one, implementing strict and rigid rules without any flexibility. Ignoring the students who exhibit unacceptable behavior and only focus on praising those who behave well. Or clearly define acceptable and unacceptable behavior and setting a positive example and a praise for a good behavior. Allowing the students to set their own rules to encourage personal responsibility. Which is the correct answer? As a teacher, you have to tell me. Okay. So which one is the correct one? Anybody, can you unmute and tell me which is the right answer?
Excuse me, ma'am. I would like to tell here.
Yes, ma'am.
It was very previously, about 2 centuries or 1 century back, A was correct. Ignore students is very wrong. A teacher must not do. If a teacher is a teacher, clearly define acceptable and unacceptable behavior. If you're telling, they will follow the rules. But if you allow the students to set their own rules and encourage them personal responsibility, they will show their creativity of whatever course may it be, management course, or so they will have their flexibility and they'll come out with their whatever potential they have, and new and novel things, innovative methods will come out from the students. Am I
Yes.
right, ma'am?
Yes, I completely agree with you, ma'am. I definitely agree with you. And the answer actually is C. I'll tell you why. All the students cannot be creative. That is one. And all cannot be.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And in a class of 60, I have 180 students, 3 sections. So when we go there, it will be very difficult for us to, let them make their own rules. Because even for a simple trip called as outbound learning experience, my experience was very bitter, I should say. Each one coming and telling, ma'am, we will go here, we will go there. So they were not able to come to a consensus. So in that particular case, it will be difficult to set their own rules and encourage their personal responsibility. So even MBA, because we are coming from arts and arts background basically. See, engineering students, handling engineering students is completely different. I should not say which is good, which is bad, but overall, I'm just generalizing. Let me tell you very honestly, when you're generalizing, it becomes very difficult.
So
So
C is
basically,
correct.
so in that case, what happens? We clearly define which is acceptable and which is not acceptable behavior. And we are supposed to set a positive example for them, and we praise the good behavior. If anything is bad, then we just call them privately and tell them, see, you're not you need to follow the timings, and you need to also go through these. So we just tell them, that's all. So setting the principles and the discipline is very important. Today morning, there were many absentees in one of the section. I was feeling very bad because in spite of having a discipline committee, still the teachers needs to, push and maintain. If you ask the teachers will say, if they are not coming, what should I do? It is not my responsibility. No, it is a mentor's responsibility. In our college, we have given 15 to 16 students to one particular faculty. 15:1 is the ratio. Can you not take care of the 15? Tell me honestly. Because out of 15, definitely 8 will be very good. 7 or 8 will be following the timings. 2 will be extremely good, correct? And the remaining 6 alone will be, a little bit here and there. And that 6, if you constantly meet them, every Saturday I have a meeting, please come and meet me. It is a mentor-mentee, period. Please come and, talk to me if you have anything. So when you go on, monitoring their, their whereabouts and talking constantly, maybe, interacting with your parents also, obviously they will come into line. So it's just only the concentration that has to be given for the 6 or 7, maybe, out of 15, which is, I don't think it's a very big deal about it. So that particular discipline has to come from us, and in turn, we will pass it on to the students. So that I have, faced very drastically with certain batches, and every batch will not be the same. So the fourth one is, building empathy. When we are talking about as a teachers, we also need to understand that we need to have some kind of empathy to the students in turn. So here I would like to ask one particular question. So what is the key strategy for building empathy among students in the classroom? We enforce strict rules and punishments for any disruptive behavior. Will it be the key strategy? For example, today, some of the students, few, like 2 or 3 came in color dress. Color dress is not allowed for MBAs. So I just told them simply, please go back to your home. If you want, you can, ma'am, we are coming from our native place. Coming from the native place doesn't mean that they can always carry one shirt. Pant is formal pants. We never allowed jeans, denim in our college. Not for engineering students, but for MBA I'm talking about. So we don't allow. So obviously you have to come in with formal pants and just carry one shirt, how much weight it will take. So that kind of thought should come to the students' mind, and also the teachers need to follow, whoever is going for the first hour especially. So enforcing strict rules and punishment, do you think it is really good? Or encouraging the students to share their personal experience and listen to the other's perspective? Okay, you share your personal experience and you listen to their perspective. Does it good? Or you focus solely on academic achievements and limit your discussions about the personal feelings? How do you do? For you, it might feel, this is right or this might be wrong. Anything, you can just feel free and, unmute and share your ideas. It will be nice. It will be great, because I'm also in the learning perspective. In spite of ma'am was telling 22 experience, it is 24 years of work experience, 8 years of industry. So all put together 30, 31. So with this, we are still, in the line of learning only. As NEP says, it's a lifelong learning. So the last one is a prioritize individual competition over collaboration and mutual support. So what is the key strategy? Can you just tell me, please?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So as per my view is concerned, encourage students to share their own personal experiences. So we should be being very much empathetic towards them. Firstly, we should consider their perspective. I think so.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for responding. Thank you. So the next one is, insist on respect. The fifth takeaway. So we, here I have various personalities. I don't know how many of you are able to see through these examples. So I have the initial one, a person with the specs, Dr. C.N.R. Rao, a highly respected scientist and a global advocate for science education. Dr. Rao has a role model for educators and students alike. He is one of India's foremost chemists and has inspired generations through his dedication to research, mentorship, and scientific excellence. His ability to balance teaching with his research work demonstrates how passion for knowledge can inspire the students. His continuous advocacy for better education policies also shows how teachers can go beyond the classroom to influence a systematic change. Then I have a person who's holding the mic. So he is Dr. Sugata Mitra. Mitra sir is known actually for the hole-in-wall experiment, which revolutionized thinking about self-organized learning, and Dr. Mitra has been a prominent voice in educational innovation. His voice showed how curiosity and technology could empower children to learn independently. He continues to influence education globally with his ideas on child-centric learning, proving that modern education can be shaped by alternative methods. So teachers can look into this, his example to incorporate technology and innovation into their teaching styles, fostering a more self-driven and explorative learning process in students. The next example, Rajneesh Desale, winner of the Global Prize, the Teacher Prize in 2020. This guy, the bigger photograph I'm talking about. So Dr. Desale is an Indian educator from Maharashtra. Most of you must be really aware of this person, who used the QR coded textbooks to revolutionize teaching in rural areas. His efforts in promoting girls' education and creating inclusive learning opportunities have been widely recognized. Dr. Desale's commitment to bringing technology into the classroom, particularly in underprivileged areas, is a great example for teachers looking into improving the student's life through innovative and meaningful engagement. Actually, if you see, the sixth takeaway is volunteerism. How many of us volunteer when somebody says, today there was a mail in my inbox asking for 2 teachers. I have to appoint 2 teachers for the etiquette. It is based on a session based on email etiquettes. So everybody thinks they know. So I have a few youngsters. The no attitude is very high, honestly speaking. So they say that, I know, why should I attend? But one person raised the hand telling that, ma'am, I would like to attend. He's a very nice person who's very knowledgeable in economics and politics. So he wanted to come. I said, yes, okay. And the other person, I have to nominate, no other. So what happens is, volunteerism is one great character of, or a particular attribute of a teacher, I should say, coming forward. So these are the people, great people. And there is the last with the, ID card, you can see. He is called as Anand Kumar, founder of Super 30. And Anand Kumar is a mathematician and educator who founded the Super 30 program, which prepares the underprivileged students for entrance exams to prestigious Indian institutes of technology. So his dedication to empowering economically disadvantaged students through education exemplifies how teachers can impact society by nurturing talent and potential where it is least expected. Okay, so his life and work, they are a testament, I should say, that education can really transform our lives, and teachers, we are the more powerful agents of the social change. So here are some tools which I thought I would, share with you, because we are not only, expected to be in our personal attributes and characters, but skill-wise also we have to get ourselves updated. So one is, the AI applications I thought I will share with you. So one is the personalized learning material, something which I often use, Socratic by Google, AI-powered app it is, that helps the students with personalized explanations and solutions. The moment you just type, say for example, today morning I wanted to understand what is the definition for personality. So immediately it started giving me a lot of explanations on that, which is apt, I can pick it up. Okay, though we should not use it for our research, but still we can use it for other purposes. Khan's Academy, this is an AI tutor that provides personalized learning support and practice problems. And then we have adaptive learning systems. There I have something called as a Dream Box. So this is a math program that adjusts to students' learning needs in real time. Actually, honestly speaking, I use it for my research papers where I want some mathematical model. Say, for example, I have written an in a journal, textile industry journal, where the fabric, this is a fabric, according to the math, say for example, there is any defect, as per the mathematical model, how I can find out and eradicate the defect. So I just used this and it was very helpful. The next we have is a Smart Sparrow, adaptive learning platform that personalizes educational content based on student performance. Say, for example, we have something called as a lesson plan. For preparing a lesson plan, we have the AI-powered apps. For example, for content creation, I think most of you will be using ChatGPT. Now, everybody are using left and right, and this can generate text for lesson plans, instruction materials, and more. But when you look into, AI cannot be replaced, but it can be, it will be very useful for designing our own, the content, because we are supposed to be, more creative and innovative in our lesson plan compared to others. Okay, then we have something called as a virtual tutoring and support. So Duolingo is one, language learning app, beautiful app where you can learn, because my second language is French, but still I wanted to learn German. A few words I could learn, so it will be very interesting. And now students are most into this Korean and other languages. Yes, you can go ahead teaching, and we can also bring it to the class. Together we can learn, if we are having clubs. A lot of clubs has to be created in your department or in the college where, after 4 or after 3, we sit together for a cup of coffee, discuss with the students what are new things, because students are far more, informative than us, I should say. And then we have this EdTech teacher. This provides resources and tools for integrating technology into teaching. We have Coursera academic kind of institution or association where we learn a lot. Then coming into the utilities of generative AI, one is, the automated content creation will be there. Okay. The next one is the personalized learning. We create customized learning materials and activities, because I want to have an exercise, then an MCQ, then a PowerPoint kind of thing, few points, and then one conclusion. So how do I go about with it? Even if in Gen AI, if it is giving me the PPT, but still I need to sit, understand. This is where my skill plays a very important role. So because I have more creativity, I'll just ask you, certain questions. Let me, complete this. So in the resource compilation, if you see, we automatically gather, and this, resource compilation automatically gathers and summarizes the relevant research and articles and educational resources for less preparation. Okay, language support is given, administrative efficiency is given, data-driven insights. Often I'm told, this institution is data-driven institutions. So anything, you speak on data, then we are in. Done. So here's an example for exercise. Okay, let me, give you a small exercise. How many of you want to get into, say, I know there are people who are there into science. Okay, but this is basically, a general knowledge kind of exercise. Let's have an introduction into the supply and demand. So objectives is basic principles of supply and demand. Okay, so you just have to define what is supply, what is demand. Supply is what comes in, and demand is what is being created. Okay, done. So explain the law of supply and demand with simple examples. I have, the demand for this particular pen. So they have ordered for 500 units. But the supply is, today I'm unable to do because the power supply is not there, So manufacturing, there is a problem. There is a glitch in certain, say departments. So I'm unable to, instead of 500, I'm able to produce only, say 425 or 400. This is a small activity. Now engage the students in such kind of, discussion about the real world examples of the supply and demand. So you can easily, take the companies, examples. VRL is there. Great logistics companies, many companies are there for that particular matter. So take certain examples, and if you are able to read the newspaper, then we are in with this, we can be in alignment with these students. That is one particular thing which I wanted to say. So upgrading of skills and upskills, is very important in our lives. So this is, I wanted to, talk about the generative AI. Which is, the artificial intelligence, which is capable of generating the text, images, videos, or other data using the generative models offered in response to prompt. Okay. So the prompt, if you are giving, say, for example, I will frame a particular, say, the mail. So in my mail, what happens? I will, say I'm typing a memo for my faculty members. So in typing a memo for my faculty, so I will tell, these are things which you have not done. So I'm issuing a memo. The same thing, I'll copy it in the chat GPT and tell, please give it to me in an aesthetic way. So aesthetic is a prompt, aesthetic manner. Please give me in an analytical way. Please give me in a very, polished way. You give certain words. So it will give you, so message is, very strong, but it will give you in a polished way where you can mail it to your, your faculty members. So this is one, help which often we try to take. AI to generative AI. So the new era of innovation. AI's evolution. Can you see? I have put in my, left hand side. This is the picture of AI, which gives. Okay, the traditional AI focused on the task of data analysis, pattern recognition, and automation. Now, if you see generative AI, there is a leap. It can create. It can only design art. You just say, give me, the picture of Jerry. It will give you the picture of Jerry in a very beautiful way. Writing text and generating new ideas, pushing creativity, new heights. So this is all about AI evolution and impact on industries. If you see, from art to design to marketing and to product development, generative AI is driving innovation, allowing business to explore new possibilities and tailor experiences to individual needs. So this is one, I thought I will just share this with you. Diverse implementations of, generative AI in various fields. Art and design, it is there. Music and composition, it is there. It is there in all the field. Okay, in fashion and design, in video game development, it is there. It has occupied every nook and corner. So AI is also enhancing the educational infrastructure, improving everything from curriculum design to student assessment. So here what happens for the student assessment, I have told my faculty members to create in Microsoft Teams. So in the Microsoft Teams, we will post all the subject, materials there, PPTs, learning materials, say it could be formulas, because we have some subjects called as quantitative techniques and operations research. Certain, we have Power BI, we have data visualization. There are some of the subjects because we provide specialization in 6 domains, not only in HR, marketing, finance, and systems. We also provide in business analytics, and data science. So in all the, materials has to be posted there. And there is a chat box where the students can chat and with the teacher and tell, or ask any doubts with us, where we can clarify the doubts, we can interact with them. That's basically an interacting platform. So if you look into the generative AI tools in education, we have something called as a Quizlet with AI. That is basically for quiz. Grammarly, I think most of you must be aware. Wolfram Alpha, Khan's Academy AI Tutor, and Scribble Diffusion. So this is, for the students, which you can use. This is for the faculty, where you can use for, your own materials, preparing your own materials. ChatGPT, Copilot, Turnitin for, referring all your research articles, then Coursera AI-driven courses. And this is for the institution. If you see institutions wise, we are supposed to have Canvas LMS, very, good LMS, and Coursera for business or Themify. It all, very beautiful platforms it provides. I'm showing you a picture here. Can you just tell me which is AI, generated? One is AI picture, another one is AI generated. Can you just tell me which is AI generated? For me, this is my right and this is my left. Anybody? Let me see who gives the right answer. Which one is AI generated? Yes. To my right is AI generated. Okay. So I have some sample quiz questions. I want you all to answer these quiz questions. Multiple choice. So what happens to the price of the product if the demand increases but the supply remains the same? Okay. Can you just tell me which is the answer? So what happens to the price of the product? What happens to the price of this particular product if the demand is increasing, but if the supply remains the same?
It will
Price
raise,
will
ma'am.
increase.
Yes, exactly. The price will increase. Excellent. So like this small questions I have given in the management view, but I have a lot of teachers, and my dear friends, participants who are there from different field. If you want to share, you can unmute, you can share one of your example here, which will be of great learning for all of us. Anybody from the science background? I'm giving you from the management. I have another question. If the supply of the product decreases and demands remain constant, the price will likely decrease? No. Answer is false. Okay, explain what is meant by equilibrium price in the market. So these are some of the sample, questions which I am telling, where you can share with the students, asking them in the class, or when they come for mentoring to you, motivating them, being as a role model. No, if I go to ma'am is awesome. Ma'am told me that. Ma'am appreciated me this. Ma'am is showing me an interest. The other day my daughter was telling, ma'am asked me to, mind the small children. She's in her 12th standard, but she was asked to mind the 4th standard students. Ma'am selected me. And now I've understood ma'am liked me. So these are some of the good or the positive things. So we need to be more proactive to the students. That is the one thing which I wanted to share in the point number 7. So, and then the 8th one is avoid labels. Let us, avoid labels, which is, say for example, I've given here one particular question. Which of the following statements best reflects the idea of encouraging positive development in children? One is labeling children with a habit or trait is a useful way to guide their behavior. So labeling, when I say, for example, a goody, please come here. Or say, for example, a naughty, come here, you're calling. So is it good or bad? I don't know. Some of us take it in a lighter note, but many of us don't take it in the lighter note. Comparing the children to one another. When, Karthik can do, why Ram, why you cannot do? Do we do that to improve their own skills? Or allowing the children to express their own potential and personality fosters meaningful behavior? Am I allowing? So, or idealizing children who perform well is essential for their development? Yes, it is true. Am I doing that? Am I idealizing certain students? I'm not idealizing the others. So all this will help in a long way, I should say. Allowing the children to express their own potential is very important, and personality fosters meaningful behavior. Yes, this is the right answer. So I just wanted to, make you all understand, or let us realize today that children are coming from diverse backgrounds. The students are coming from diverse, backgrounds. So if at all something which is not agreeable to us, let us punish them positively. Let us not, punish them negatively. Say, for example, explaining the reasons for not approving certain activities. I'm not giving you leave. I'm not going to give you anything. So, but, I want your presence in the classroom. It's not that, I'm not giving you the leave, but I want, you to be there in the classroom because you're more important for me. So these are some of the statements which we can share with them, okay, and listening to them. Say, for example, listening to the individual, it concerns, children will be very happy. Students will be very, very happy because someone is listening to me and someone is giving, importance to my idea. And we have to help them. Yes, we are helping them in a lot of ways. Okay. Sometimes we go beyond, certain measures to, help the students out. And also, we also have a positive attitude. Yes, we all have that. But what happens is there is something called as, this I wanted to share with you, which is one of the very important takeaway from this particular program. There is something called as a self-awareness emotional intelligence. Yes, we have something called as MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, where Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. You can just type it out. If you otherwise you can short form, you can type it out. MBTI, B for Bangalore. MBTI. If you type it out, you can get the online test. If you do that, it will tell us very clearly, because how many times I have tried myself, proved myself, trying to become a manager, it did not excel, because my career, my path, which was destined to be as a teacher here. So self-awareness and emotional intelligence is very important. And this is not from my end. This is from NPTEL end. NPTEL and NEP, National Education Policy 2020, has given what are the leadership qualities that is expected out of the, teachers. basically the personality development, what it should be. So they have given some 10, leadership traits. One is the self-awareness and emotional intelligence. That should be there. Effective communication skills. See, communication is not about, here I'm not talking about language, including English. Many people will not be able to pronounce is and ish. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about effective way of communication. Even if you're talking your regional language, the way how you are intending to speak, it should be reached by the person who is receiving it at the receivable end. Okay, so that is one. And continuous learning and knowledge upgradation. Every time I ask my faculty members, my style is to ask the question to them, and whoever is interested only I will take. Now I have brought them up in that particular way because they had a different way of style where my previous boss used to give assignment. No, Rose, you do it. No, Kavita, you do it. No, this is you go and attend. No, I don't force them. So if it is coming on their own, definitely I see that interest and I see that they are on time for the program and they learn something. So in that way, continuous learning, there are few faculty members. So encourage them. So that is why I told you, strength must be strengthened and weaknesses must be eliminated, or you just ignore the weakness. That will be far better when we are doing the SWOT analysis. So adaptability and flexibility is one where we teachers must be capable of adapting ourselves and being very flexible to a little bit of change in time. Last meeting, what happened, one of the faculty meeting, I generally observe some of the faculty members keep watching their time as if they are going to accomplish something great and achieve something great during the 10 minutes or the 15 minutes. It was annoying me for quite some time. Then one fine time I saw the faculty member watching the mobile. Solid I gave. But let me tell you very honestly, it is a very big, I'm not telling, everybody has the, urgency, everybody has work, everybody has something, which is very important for us, apart from, the faculty meeting. I do agree. But in a meeting, in a public forum, you cannot do such things. At least please learn your basic manners. Very simply, I told. It's a very bad manners. Generally, I told. I did not even look at the person. So there are ways that we need to express. There are ways that we need to be very strict with, the faculty members or the peer colleagues, where we need to draw a line. At the same time, you need to have your own collaborative activities with them, which is very essential. So you ensure that you have the collaborative activities with them. For example, taking the leadership or, being a very good mentor. I don't know how many of the colleges are giving the award for the best mentors. If it is given, I remember a story right now. One particular person went to Japan and he was taken aback because they don't celebrate something called as a Teachers' Day there. There is no Teachers' Day. What you people don't give so much importance for Teachers' Day? Teachers' Day, we give a lot of importance. We celebrate. We have cultural events. We have a lot of, this thing coming up. No. So when the person got into the bus, because the badge was given, people, stood up. Please sit, sir. So why, I'm so surprised, even in metro also they were giving space. And when he went for another function also, he was given importance. Then he was telling, anyway, it is not Teachers' Day. Why they are giving him? Because you are a teacher. A teacher is supposed to be, given respect in every, moment of life, not at that one particular day. It's a very important lesson that we learn from Japanese or whatever. And what I'm trying to say is teachers should be role models for the others. In what way? So basically, we should have a good interpersonal and relationship building, skills. Basic time management should be there. Whenever there is a meeting, I always know one particular lady, madam. She's a senior most in this college. Every meeting, when I open the gate, I will think always I'm first, but she will be there already, be present 5 or 10 minutes, before the meeting starts, before our principal calls. So time management is very essential. How many of us do follow that? And there is something called as a confidence and positivity at all times. I know it is very difficult, but still you have to stick on to that. There is something called as a cultural awareness and sensitivity, which is very essential because I'm staying in Bangalore. I have students from diverse backgrounds, and all these people are need to be, understood in their particular cultural background, and emphasis should be given on their learning. And this, I wanted to show you this video before I close. I hope you can see this. and I hope it is loud.
There are also कोणीतरी 60-year-old असतो, but that 60-year-old is looking fit, and another 60-year-old is looking unfit. The difference is always in the strength of the legs. That is something that we need to work on. So now one more test, sit down. One eye on top of the other, right your legs. Now stand up. Still right on legs, still right on legs. And now slowly lower yourself down. So sit down. Right down right, left foot. Now stand up. And now lower yourself down. More confidently strength कमी होत नाही. पण आपली right आणि left leg मध्ये पण strength कमी होणार आहे. आणि त्याला difference keeps growing. त्यामुळे नंतर आपण असं झालं की नसेल. आणि एरियामध्ये आपण काय करतो असं आपले पेरेंट्स आलेला लागले की आपण त्यांना wheelchair.
I just wanted to say that, legs are, we always give the least importance. We put up, a lot of makeup or give more importance to face and all that. But we are supposed to give more importance to our legs, keeping, maintaining the hygiene one and maintaining the strength of the legs, because we stand a lot. Okay. Many of us will have varicose veins. So develop over a period of time. So legs must be very healthy in order to stand and, give their long lectures. So health is one which we need to focus. And the fundamental techniques in handling people is, let us not criticize anybody, whether it is a student or a colleague or our management, because gossiping culture is not a good culture. Okay. Let us not condemn or complain about anybody. Just talk about the work. Okay. If you all are coming for work, and I should say 3/4 of our lifetime we are spending in the workplace. So let us make it very happy and, very stable and very, it's a very sensitive issues are there. So let us not give, for space for that. Let us come, work happily and take care of our health, which is very important, and live with this 3 E's: energy, enthusiasm, and empathy. And, there is something, 5 leadership qualities NPTEL, which is giving. So as I already told you, emotional intelligence, diversity and inclusion, professional development, ethical leadership, innovative pedagogy. So always try to be very slim, not fat, which means that, be very slim. And it is self-confidence, love, initiative, and moderation. Do not have any fear and frustration, anxiety and anger and tension. Okay. Because we need to watch our words, because that becomes our destiny. That is one. And if you have any technique, any worries, there are few techniques, one is a cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT techniques are there, and which you can take it. And I'm doing a lot of research in this because this is my field. And don't worry. And basic things to enhance your personality is, don't compare your life. It will become very miserable, let me tell you, because each personality God has created in a different way. So we are all unique. So let's have our own strength and strengthen our strengths. And don't have negative thoughts. Don't waste your precious energy on whatever, the grapevine, and dream more while you are awake. Thank you so much for your precious time. And I would like to take up questions.